Hello and welcome to Study with Sudhir. My name is T.S. Sudhir. At around 3 p.m. today, the ICSE Class 10 and ISC Class 12 results will be announced. But as far as the CBSE students are concerned, they will have to wait a little while longer. So, why is there a delay as far as the CBSE exam results? The results of the board exams that actually never took place, Class 10 and Class 12. When would those results come? That is the big question. Now, there is a story which has come in the Times of India today. It talks about a surfeit of 95% scores forces CBSE result revision. What exactly does this mean? Now, हुआ ये है कि कई सारे स्कूलों ने, इनफैक्ट सभी स्कूलों से कहा गया था कि वे अपने मार्कशीट विद्यार्थियों के स्टूडेंट्स के सीबीएसई को भेजें. And that has happened over the past 1 month. Now, when the CBSE sat down to tabulate the results, they found that there was a huge difference in the past performance of students of that particular school, that is your 2018, 19, 20 batches and the 2021 batch. Let me explain this a little more. What they found was they had told the school कि आप किसी भी एक ईयर को बेस ईयर के रूप में मान लीजिए 2018, 2019 या 2020. जब भी आपके स्कूल के एग्जाम के रिजल्ट सबसे बेहतर थे, whenever your school exam results were the best, in whichever year, choose that as the base year, and accordingly you need to allocate the marks for 2021, which means that there should not be a major difference between your school results in 2018 or 19, whichever was your best year, and 2021. What the CBSE has found, according to this story in the Times of India, is that if there were two students who were above 95% in say 2018 or 19, now there are 5 students. So there is almost a doubling of number of students, which the CBSE finds suspicious. Okay, so now the CBSE has said it has rejected a lot of such data sent by these schools. It has asked those schools to rework that data, and it has taken a very serious view of these kind of quote unquote inflated numbers. Okay, inflated numbers. Now, there are 2-3 points I want to make out here, and as I said, this is a Study with Sudhir editorial, so I'm putting forth my point of view. It's a very serious matter that the CBSE is telling the schools कि आपने चीटिंग की है, and that I think is a very serious matter which I think the CBSE schools should be embarrassed about. अगर स्कूल को यह कहा जाए कि आपने चीटिंग की है, आपने इन्फ्लेटेड नंबर्स दिए हैं, तो स्कूल की छवि पर किस तरह का असर पड़ता है? What kind of an impression will the CBSE have of that particular school in whichever city, whichever state of India, that it was presenting inflated and fake numbers in order to dress up its performance, right? And I think that's a serious issue, and the CBSE should take note of that. Now, the CBSE, why would the schools do that? The schools obviously will do that so that their performance looks better, so that the next batch of students and parents who come, they feel impressed कि ये school अच्छा है, इतने सारे students ने 95% से above marks लिए हैं board examinations पे. Okay. The question is, do these results even mean anything? जब exam ही नहीं हुए, why is there so much of a song and dance happening over these results? I fail to understand. I really fail to understand. Okay. दूसरी बात, CBSE को भी एक बात समझनी चाहिए कि 2021 में majority of the students did not depend on their school online classes for their learning in anticipation of the board examinations or while preparing for their board examinations, which they thought will take place in 2021, March, April, whenever, right? They were depending on many other online tools, YouTube channels, app-based channels, tuition teachers. They were depending on that. They were not depending on the schools. Even schools, and I can tell you this, I have records to prove that they were actually telling students that you can go and depend on this particular online educator where you can learn these chapters. So how are you linking the students' performance to the school's past performance? Is the CBSE Is the CBSE saying कि अगर 2018 में आपके 2 विद्यार्थी ही 95% से ऊपर लेकर आए तो 2021 में भी उतने ही होने चाहिए? Can't the school make an improvement? Let's assume for argument's sake, shouldn't the school make an improvement? Right? Why are you linking the performance of this batch of students with what their seniors did in 2018 or 19? That I think is unfair, not to all students. It is unfair to the students who actually worked on their own, who put in their own individual effort, irrespective of what the school was doing or not doing. They put in that effort. What you have now done is to nullify that effort and said that no baba, तुमको 2018 या 19 के बेसिस पे ही रहना पड़ेगा. That I think is unfair to the students who worked hard on their own. You are not rewarding those students. That I think is being very unfair. Now, point number 3 is that, and this is something which I've said in previous videos also, I seriously think this should have been a year when the marks should not have been given at all. You're unnecessarily going to complicate, and I'm sure many ICSE and ISE students today are going to be extremely unhappy because marks cannot be the accurate barometer. You cannot give the perfect marks on the basis of a student's performance through the year or even past years. They should have resorted to giving grades in this very exceptional kind of year so that you get an idea, okay, this student is A plus, this student is A, this student is B plus, that's fine. It's a range of marks. Instead of trying to say that, okay, you are at 83%, you are at 91%. No, this year should have been treated differently. Instead of going through this extensive exercise where you are making schools lie, project inflated figures, and generally not rewarding students who have shown the enthusiasm and the determination to study on their own from various other sources which are not school based. So I think the CBSE should learn a lesson from this and at least in 2022 make improvements on this kind of a marking system where marks mean everything. I think it's time to move away from this obsession with marks. We need to think out of the box. We need to also think out of the syllabus, for heaven's sake. Focus on learning and make education more holistic instead of saying that textbook ka ye page number 58 ka you know it, you are able to reproduce it exactly in the answer sheet, you will be treated as the topper of the school. No, I think that approach really has to go. The focus has to be on understanding and application based learning instead of rote based learning. That's my limited point of view. So that's the news as far as the CBSE is concerned. Hopefully by the end of the month is when the results of class 10 and class 12 will be out. Thank you very much for watching.